Gorn. That kind of sounds like... This was originally going to be a comparison of Gorn and Blade and Sorcery to see which was better, but my computer can't actually run Blade and Sorcery without having an aneurysm. Gorn is described on its Steam page as a ludicrously violent VR gladiator simulator featuring a unique, fully physics-driven combat engine. But I personally think it's better described like this. Gladiator hit people fun times. This game feels great, fun, and immersive. When you switch the movement mode, that is. I'm not at all a fan of the grabbing and pulling to move around in this game. Trying to dodge these huge sweeping attacks from the other gladiators is not very easy, fun, or intuitive with the default movement option. And in my opinion, the game's just much better experience with the joystick movement. But like I was saying, Gorn is one of, if not the most fun and immersive VR game I've ever played. Granted, I've only played like 6 or 7. I have not gotten sweatier playing a VR game, save from maybe the Fitbeat level on Beat Saber. Heck, the game is so immersive that I've slammed my fist into various pieces of furniture while playing. The most painful of which was when I tried to do a wide sleeping slam and slammed into the 70-gallon glass terrarium. Ooh. Oh. Speaking of being hurt, it is concerningly fun to hurt people in this game. Dismembering your opponents feels really good, especially slicing off legs and arms like some kind of sick Mr. Potato Head. One thing that isn't fun, however, is throwing things. Maybe it's just because the game was built for Vive controllers and headsets and it just doesn't work very well with the Oculus Touch controllers, but every time I throw something it detects that I'm throwing it at either the ground and or not hard enough. But other than that, the game is really fun and balanced, until you get to the last 3 levels. You see, the last 3 levels have a few bad things in common. First, they're all just a bit too long. Each section of these levels took me around 4 to 5 minutes to beat without dying. So, to play through around, say, 3 minutes, and then dying, and then needing to replay it all over again is really annoying. And it wouldn't be as bad if dying wasn't about as consistent as my upload schedule. You see, in Gorn when you get hit, your vision starts to get blurry unless you kill someone before your eyes close. I love this, it's creative and it works really well, except for when it doesn't. See, sometimes I can get nailed in the head with a warhammer and my vision starts to slowly fade. Other times though, I'll get tapped lightly on the soldier and die almost on the spot. And on top of that, half the time when you kill someone, you die anyway. I don't want to be that guy that recommends game features, but maybe a workaround solution to this would be making it so your vision gets blurry if you get hits once and you die if you're hit a second time unless you can kill someone. But the first of the last 3 levels features giants, which is cool, creative, and fun. But fighting them is none of the above. See, the nightmares are a nightmare to fight. It feels like it takes an eternity to bust their armor off or dismember them, let alone kill them. I think this wouldn't be so bad if there wasn't such a stark difference between the normal fighters and the giants. For example, I'm able to dismember normal fighters in around 1 to 3 hits without armor, but the giants take about 5 to 7. The thing that I do like is that the gladiator's armor progressively gets hardier throughout the game, preparing you for these giants. But almost all of the giants have hardy armor as well. If the giants started with no armor and progressively got more like the progression of the other fighters, this would be great and fine and dandy, but it doesn't, and it doesn't have time to, resulting in this just generally unfair feeling experience. But during the giants level you get a straight up gun, and it's really fun even if it's a little buggy. Sometimes the bullets / cannonballs go straight through the enemies and the gun doesn't either cock back far enough or cock backs too far outside of the gun. But it's an overall, wait for it, blast. The last level is the best and worst level in the game. If you want to avoid spoilers, skip to this part in the video. The last level starts out with you fighting all of the previous bosses in the game, which is awesome. I love this part. It's cool and fun. But what's not cool and fun is getting hit by the crab, killing the crab, and it not refreshing your vision, but still going on to the next session, essentially locking you in a state of purgatory where you can neither restart nor move forward. The only way I've found to fix this is to completely restart the game and hope it doesn't happen again. It happened to me 3 times. After this part, the king sends the spectators that have been up in the stands the entire game after you. I love this part so much. It's a great twist and their giant exploding heads. What I didn't like about this part is that it took me almost 3 hours to beat. See, to beat this part you have to knock the spectators into the structure that the king is sitting on, which is pretty awesome. Or it would be if it wasn't about as consistent as my upload schedule. Oh, I already made that joke. It just feels like no matter how hard, how fast, how close, or from what angle you hit the heads at, they fall just short of where you need them to hit. This also wouldn't be too bad if when you're trying to hit the enemies, 4 guys weren't coming at you at the same time, including some of them being giants. But once you do finally beat this part, the Skull Rock crushes the king and you're rewarded with this beautiful work of art. After that level, I had to let out my frustration, so I became a giant crab monster and threw people around in a custom game mode. All in all though, Gorn is a lot of fun, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone with a VR headset. The custom and endless modes are fantastic, and the levels are too aside from parts of the last 3. This is definitely one of the best VR games I've played, right next to Beat Saber and Superhot. But yeah, Gorn's pretty cool, I guess. KIROIM es BEKI, Alimro es Alki, Kitabe Vutaki, Robe Beta Roki.